Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to the match reaction for our nil-nil draw against Newcastle. Now, I know we are sad because we are so used to winning games these days. Like, even if you are to draw with Bayern Munich right now, I'd be very sad that you've drawn with them because we're so used to winning. That is literally the first time this season we've not scored a goal, the very first time. And it's also the first time we failed to win at home. We literally had a 10-game winning streak at home, which is very, very good. But that was a tough team, man. That is a very tough game. Now, I've watched like every single Newcastle game, but playing against them, my own team playing against them, that is when you realize how good they are, man. Especially defensively, they are no joke. They've conceded 11 goals this season, and I can see why. That is not a joke. Like Pope, the goalkeeper, Trippier, all that, very, very good players. Fair play to them. Very good job Newcastle are doing. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they finish top 4. But we're here to talk about Arsenal and how the game went. And are we disappointed? Let me know. I just put a poll on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know. How do you feel about the game, how the result went? And if you're watching on Facebook, let me know. What do you make of this results? Nil-nil draw. Are you very disappointed? You expected a win? Or are you looking at it like, listen, it's not the end of the world. Newcastle are a very good team. As long as Man City drop points against Chelsea, we move on? Or are you happy? Are you happy with the draw? How do you feel? Are you middle or happy or very sad that you dropped points today? It depends on how Man City do this week. If they drop points against Chelsea, then I wouldn't really feel bad about it. Hopefully, we do get a win against Tottenham or Man United. But if Man City go ahead and win, obviously it's tough because we were home today. We expected to win. And yeah, but anyway, Newcastle have lost one game the whole season. They are a very good team, and they're a very good team. But there's a couple of factors I picked up today, and I'm going to come to the rest of the match reaction. But the most worrying thing about today is when we don't score a goal, or when Saka is marked out of the game, or when Martinelli is marked out of the game, or such things, we don't have anyone to bring from the bench. That is why we need to sign players in January. That is the key factor about today. If it was Man City against Newcastle, if Mahrez doesn't play well and Foden doesn't play well, they'll bring on Grealish and they'll bring on Alvarez to try and change the game. For us, we're in a very different position. If Martinelli is totally marked out of the game like he was today, not totally, but Trippier did a very good job on him today. And everything that Saka's trade hasn't worked, and Odegaard is having kind of an off day, and Jack is having kind of an off day. We don't really have anyone to bring from the bench, and that is the concerning part. Imagine if you had Mudryk on the bench today, and Smith Rowe on the bench, and Jesus on the bench. If it doesn't work out, you take out Nketiah and you bring on Jesus. Like today, if you had a very good bench, Nketiah would have been subbed off early for me. Jacques would have been subbed off early for me. And even Odegaard was having a kind of a poor game, shooting off target and everything. Like I would have probably even taken him off for another number 10. But the problem is we don't have a bench. Like we have a couple of youngsters there. We have defenders in Tomiyasu, Holding, and Tierney as well, and Lokonga as well, a midfield, and El Neni. We literally don't have anything from the bench, maybe apart from Fabio Vieira. But yeah, this is a very tough game, full of yellow cards, full of fighting and tough tackling. I don't really think this is a game for Fabio Vieira. Maybe that's why I didn't bring him on. But yes, we don't have good players on the bench. We don't have enough players on the bench. That is why we desperately need to sign players this January because of games like this. Newcastle is a very good team. It's not the end of the world that you drew the game, but you definitely need players on the bench in case it doesn't go your way. You need players to bring from the bench. This was a tough one today. And it doesn't get easy, remember. We have Tottenham away next. We have Man United this month as well. It doesn't get easy. But I have to say, I think this is the toughest game we've played this season. I think Liverpool was actually easier than this. I think Chelsea is actually easier than this. This was very tough. But this is the first time we've dropped points at home. I think the last time we failed to win a home game was like back in March or something against Brighton last year. Like we've been very, very good at home. But today was quite different. Newcastle held us out, and I can't even lie to you. When we gave them a couple of corners in the last 5 minutes, I was sweating. I was like, oh no. Usually when a game goes like this, you start thinking bad things like, oh, what if they get a corner and they score in the last minute? What happens? I was scared to death those last 5 minutes when we were giving them corners. I was very scared. And also Saint Maximin, when he came on, I was absolutely crapping myself. Like I was scared to death when Saint Maximin was coming on. But 0-0 draw against Newcastle. Let's go to the match reaction. Let me know what you guys made of the game. Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you okay with the draw? Let's move to the next game. Let me know. But I'm very worried about the bench. But hopefully we do sort that out this month. Mudryk looks like he's about to join us, and also someone else. attacking wise or midfield wise, just change the game. Not because Ketia is useless or Partey is useless or Odegaard is useless. No, because they're not going to perform every single game. You need someone from the bench. Even Chelsea's not doing well, but even them, they can bring Ziyech from the bench, even Havertz from the bench. Man, still you know about them. If you're going to fight for the title, you have to have bench players, and that is why I hope they've seen for today. You can look at it as a positive. Maybe it's good that it has happened early in the January transfer window so that they can actually get at least 2 players in this window because we don't have squad depth. Like in the 70th minute, that would have been the perfect time. Take Xhaka off with the yellow card because I was also very scared. When Xhaka got that yellow card, I was pretty scared, and also Nketiah was kind of getting into the referee's face on a yellow card as well. You need to take them off, even Odegaard, and bring on 3 fresh players, and maybe something would have happened. But yeah, let's go to the match reaction. Let me know what you guys made of the game. I'll come to your comments. But in terms of the lineup, as usual, nothing changes. This was Arsenal's lineup, same as the last game, same back four. It's Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, and White. Partey, Xhaka, and Odegaard. I think Xhaka and Odegaard had kind of an off game. Martinelli, Nketiah, and Saka. Trippier did a very good job on Martinelli. Fair play to Newcastle and Trippier. And then on the bench, as you can see, Tierney, Tomiyasu, defenders. Holding, defender. El Neni and Lokonga, defensive midfielders. Lokonga maybe could make an impact, but yeah, this is one of the toughest games, so I don't think Arteta really trusts the likes of Lokonga and Marquinhos, and Fabio Vieira and Oyedeji. So that is a youngster, so not enough on the bench. Imagine if you had Jesus, Smith-Rowe, Mudryk, or maybe even Felix on the bench, or Tielemans. That would have been perfect. It would have been very, very perfect. But yeah, I'm happy we actually drew early into the January transfer window so that the manager and Edu as well, and Kroenke and Josh, all those guys can see that we definitely need some bench power just in case things don't go your way. You have people to bring from the bench. The thing is, today, the first 10 minutes, we actually started the game very well, as we always do. We played very well in the first 10 minutes. That is always a positive every single day these days. The first 8 minutes, we had six attempts. We had 6 attempts in the first 8 minutes. That is crazy. 6 attempts in the first 8 minutes. We had 85% possession in the first 10 minutes as well. We were completely dominating the game. And this was the day that I was praying we score early. Because if Newcastle score fast against you, it's like playing Burnley back in the day. You're going to be in trouble. They've conceded 11 goals this season. There's a reason why. They went to Old Trafford, kept a clean sheet. They've come to the Emirates, kept a clean sheet. They're literally, it's only Man City who scored 3 goals against them. They've kept clean sheets nearly every single game. So I really wanted us to score fast. This was the game, if we scored early in the game, Newcastle would have had to go forward and try to look for a goal, maybe to have opened up spaces. But as long as it was 0-0, they were very happy to tackle our players. They were very happy to get involved in the play, very happy to waste time, drop down. Because remember, they're away from home. They're happy with the draw. If it was their place, if it was away at St. James's Park, I would have been happy with the draw because it's away at their place. But at our place, obviously, the ones who expected to win. But them, they are quite happy with the draw, especially when they got to the 70th minute. You could see they were happy with the draw. Eddie Howe was looking at the time and everything. But it started very well in the first 10 minutes. We created this opportunity with Saka. Saka doing very well on the right side. This was him in the first 2 minutes, creating a chance from the right side. Ketia was only really in the box as well. I was wishing to see someone like a Martinelli and maybe Odegaard in the box as well, because we actually did put in a couple of good crosses. Even when Martinelli had that header from the corner in the second half, there was literally no one at the far post. You need another body in the box. But Saka did create that one. Very good run. And that was positive. In the first 5 minutes, Saka ran past Ban and left him on the floor. I was hoping to see more of the same. But as soon as he did that, they put 2 men on him. The central midfielder came to the left side to mark Saka out of the game as well. So they quickly acted on that. So fair play to Eddie Howe. And then we tried the left side as well. Xhaka. I was hoping Martinelli would have shot that one, but gave it to Jacques. It went out for a goal kick, unfortunately. But it was looking promising in the first 10 minutes. We were creating a couple of openings, 5-6 shots on goal, only one on target from Saka. But yes, no goal at all. And the moment it got to the 10th minute, it was literally just middle of the park, fighting, fouls, yellow card after yellow card. It was feisty. I never thought in my life that I would see an Arsenal-Newcastle game that we actually hate each other now, because we are fighting for the top 3, top 4. We are both fighting for the same positions. We want to go farther ahead in the top of the table. If they won today, they would have gone second. So today was a feisty game. There was a lot of yellow cards. I feel like the referee lost control of the game. Terrible officiating, like he totally lost control of the game. People are starting to fight. He was giving yellow cards randomly. There was one time, I think Joelinton, I don't think you're supposed, someone from Newcastle wasn't supposed to get a yellow card. There's a time one of our players wasn't really supposed to pick up a yellow card, but since he had given other yellow cards, he had to give this one. So he kind of lost control of the game. It was just every foul, you get a yellow card. And Saka is on 4 yellow cards, by the way. So if he picked up a yellow card today, he would have missed the Tottenham game. And he also needs not to pick up a yellow card against Tottenham next game, because if he does, he misses the Man United game. And I do not want Saka to miss Man United or Tottenham. So he didn't pick up a yellow card. I think the other one is Saliba or Gabriel. One of them is on 4 yellow cards as well. But yes, a lot of players picked up yellow cards. Odegaard, Nketiah, very feisty game. And literally between the 10th minute and the 34th minute, literally nothing happened. It was all in the middle of the park. Yellow card after yellow card, foul after foul, free kick after free kick, domination, all that. But there's a time, I don't know if it's the second half. I don't know why they didn't check it, because he literally pulled Gabriel to the floor with this one. But yes, I never expect penalties with Arsenal anyway. I think we've gotten one penalty all season, and it was forced upon the referee to give that penalty that day, Michael Oliver. But yes, literally Ban took him to the floor. I guess they missed it. I don't even think they checked it, but not the day to complain anyway. Maybe it should have been a penalty, maybe not, maybe it was soft, but he literally pulled his shirt. But I do not, that Ban guy, I totally hate him. Like he was involved in everything. In our box, he was clearing everything. In their box, he was clearing everything. In our box, he was getting the crosses and everything. Very tough player to play against. A centre back who plays as a left back, crazy, just like Ben White for us playing at right back. Very tough. But literally nothing else happened. Zinchenko gave away the ball once, and we almost gave Newcastle a free goal. Loss of concentration again. If our players weren't making mistakes here and there, I don't even think we'd have been conceding goals as well. But recently, everyone has been making mistakes all over the place. Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba. So hopefully they relax on making the mistakes. And Joelinton also had a chance right before halftime for them, and that was basically it. I think it was one shot on target for them and one shot on target for us in the first half, and both of them came in the first 8 minutes. So nothing else happened for the entirety of the half. All yellow cards and yellow cards and yellow cards. And you could see Arteta was getting a bit worried, calling the players, trying to get things going, trying to spot the weaknesses and discuss weaknesses with the players and where they've done wrong and everything. But it just didn't work. It didn't work at all today. But the mistakes that we make, it continued. In the second half, I do not know what Ramsdale was trying. Ramsdale literally gave the ball straight to a Newcastle player, and such things, you cannot make such mistakes when a game is tight like that, especially because if Newcastle scored that, you're not going to score. They would have won that game 1-0. It would have been even tougher. But luckily, we weren't punished. There's also a time Wood went through one-on-one. Luckily, Wilson was off, and Wood is a bit slow, so we are very lucky with that one as well. And then Odegaard was a bit poor today, especially in the second half. A lot of shots off target. I've never really seen Odegaard and Xhaka making so many mistakes in terms of decision making. Xhaka, I felt like he should have shot a couple of times. He decided to pass. Martinelli as well, I felt like he should have passed a couple of times. He decided to shoot. Odegaard as well, shot off targets, a bit slow on the ball. But you could see today was a very tough game. And didn't really create a lot. We didn't really create a lot, and we did take 17 shots, but only four of them were on target, and a couple from corner kicks and free kicks. Gabriel's header, and also from outside the box, Odegaard shooting the ball from outside the box, Saka as well, but didn't really work out today. Today was tough, and today was crying for a bench player to come on. If we had someone like Mudryk or Smith Rowe on the bench, I'd have been very happy today. But lesson learned. Our next Premier League game is not this weekend, the other weekend. So we have like 12 days or something until our next Premier League game. Enough time to get someone like Mudryk in, to have at least someone fresh on the bench to bring on. And Smith Rowe should be back by then. So hopefully we can sort that one out. Our game this weekend is an FA Cup game. Let's see how the bench players do. The likes of, I don't really like calling Tomiyasu and Tierney bench players, but I think they'll start. And also Lokonga and Neni. Let's see how they do this weekend. But apart from that, we didn't really create a lot. Very feisty game. And the one thing to take out from today, bench. We need a bench. We need a bench because Saka, he was trying everything. He tried everything, and you could see he got tired in the second half. Martinelli tried everything. Trippier was very good today. Odegaard tried everything. Didn't work out today. Xhaka didn't work out today. Defensively, I think we were solid. I think Gabriel did well defensively today. I think Saliba did well defensively as well. Ben White, I'm never concerned about Ben White. Literally everyone else has been making mistakes. Ben White has been okay. So that is how the game went. We'll come to the player ratings, but let me see what you guys are saying. Let's go back to the top. Thank you for all the comments. Gabriel says, well, Newcastle are also good side. It was a tough game, very tough, man. I was quite scared. The last 10 minutes, I was hoping they wouldn't score, because if they scored fast, that would have been game over. Let's see. Tough game, says Keys. Tactical says it's hard not to be disappointed. In my opinion, we should have had a penalty in the first half. Rev was giving out yellow cards like how Newcastle gave out money. Yeah, their money is really going to help now. Like, they're very good right now, Newcastle, without even signing too many players. So I can see within the next 1 year, 2 years, or for the next 2-3 years, they will be a top 4, top 5 club. They've stopped us from scoring. The first team to do that. They stopped Man City from winning. They stopped Man United from scoring. They beat Chelsea 1-0 as well. It's not an easy game at all. If hopefully Chelsea, for once in their life, can play a good game this week and stop Man City, then I'd be kind of okay with a draw. Both teams lost the game, says Victor. Joseph says extremely annoying. Why though, Joseph? Do you think it was extremely annoying because we didn't create more? Or why exactly do you think it was extremely disappointing? I think extremely is a tough word. They've only lost one game this season, and it was a last-minute goal against Liverpool. They would have had 0 defeats this season. It would have been nice to beat Newcastle. Like, if we beat Newcastle today like 2-0 or 3-0, oh my goodness, we would have sent a very serious message to the rest of the teams. Like, even the likes of Man United and Tottenham playing us next, they would have been very scared. Newcastle just know how to waste time at the end. Yeah, they were doing that. They were happy with the draw. We did not lose, and let Chelsea beat Man City on Thursday. Hopefully, that would make this result from today feel a bit slightly better. Let's see. Disappointed, of course, says Cookie, but we lost to the best team in there. We didn't lose to the best team in the Premier League, Barca City, in my opinion. They had some questionable decisions in their favor. I'm not so sure about that pen shot, though. The last one, I don't think it was a penalty. The one from Xhaka crossing the ball, I don't think that was a penalty. But this one, they didn't even check it. And in a game like this, you have to depend on such things. So a game like this, you have to hope things go your way. Let me remove that from screen. I think that was kind of a foul. They didn't at least check it and tell us if it was a foul or not. I don't think they even checked it at all. But yeah, we all know about VAR. We know how VAR works. You can see it on screen. That is how VAR works with Arsenal. They check the club badge. They don't really check if it is a penalty or not. We've gotten one penalty this season. I don't even expect us to get any more. We literally have to depend on our open play goals. This is clear robbery by the referee and VAR, says Kamara. How are you, Anu? I'm disappointed in Newcastle because I don't expect them to be wasting time because they call themselves a top side. They're happy with the draw. Remember them. It's just like us, kind of. We don't expect to be top. Also, Newcastle don't expect to be third. They're happy if they beat every other team and draw it with Arsenal and draw it Man City and draw it with Liverpool and Chelsea and Man United. They're happy with that. So, and they're also away from home, so they're quite happy with the draw. The referee has clearly played a part in our draw today, says Musa. English referees are always against Arsenal. He should be awarded a penalty. Should have awarded a penalty to Arsenal. I even stopped talking about referees, man. Like, the mistakes are way too many. All of them in most of the games are just terrible. Poor officiating again. Why can't Arsenal appeal such decisions? Douglas, we've done it for like 20 years. Nothing has happened. Overall, not the end of the world, but for us, though, we have to get momentum by winning our next few games, starting against the Premier League's worst club. Hopefully, we can get that win against Tottenham. That is another ground we never win. I don't think we've won at Tottenham since like 2014 or something. Now, it kind of damages our momentum, yes, but we should be able to just hopefully bounce back. If we beat Tottenham, then we quickly forget about the Newcastle game and we keep on winning, because that would be a very big game. But obviously, if we go to Tottenham next time and lose, then that totally kills off any momentum we have. And if Arsenal was like 4th or 5th right now, a draw with Newcastle would have been good. But since we are top of the table and we just want to win every single game, it feels like a very bad result. And I'm actually happy with that. I'm happy that we do feel like we want to win every single game. That shows our mentality has changed. Anything that comes to the Emirates, especially, I'm definitely expecting us to beat them. But today it was tougher. Today it was very tougher. They were winning a lot of the second balls as well. We were not really dominating them. The other games, we've dominated a lot of them, but today I don't feel like we dominated it at all. Very dissatisfied, says Anu. Ray says we have no bench and we are competing. We need more signings for people who can change the game. Yes, we are in the January transfer window. Hopefully we can do it soon. They don't just want Arsenal to win this game. Could have gone 10 points clear. That would have been something, man. 10 points would have been crazy. And imagine going 10 points clear and then Chelsea beat Man City. That would have been great. But hopefully, we are still supporting Chelsea on Thursday. Hopefully, they can beat Man City. But Chelsea, the way they've been playing, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. We're in a position where you can only depend on ourselves. But you never know, man. Everton drew with Man City the other day. I didn't expect that. So let's wait and see. We never lost. 1 point is okay. Bring on Tottenham, says Angelos. What makes that handball not a penalty kick? I need to see it again. Yes, I think it was Matthew who handled it. They were saying it was a bit too close, but if it was actually a penalty, then if I was to answer that question, I'd say it's Arsenal. That's what makes it not a handball. It's Arsenal. Let's see. Full time. 2 dropped points, but we need reinforcements. We need wow, that's a long comment. Let me do this. 2 dropped points, but needed reinforcements. We looked fatigued out there. Villa denied us a last-minute penalty. In fact, we had 2 penalties in the game and denied. The first one, definitely. We moved. Newcastle nullified our wingers perfectly tonight. I love Nketiah, but he does not chase down like Jesus. That is true. We missed that tonight. One thing this current Arsenal team will bring them not wide. 8 points clear. So you can look at it as a positive. A couple of positives. We also didn't concede a goal today. We kept a clean sheet. That is only our second clean sheet at home. I think we kept a clean sheet against Nottingham Forest. This is the second one. We've kept a clean sheet at home. I can actually see that penalty right now again. He was pulling him back, man. They didn't even check it. But anyway, so like 3 positives. We didn't concede a goal today. Was the other one. The likes of Gabriel played very well today, but obviously more negatives, especially in terms of not having bench players. They're just showing the second penalty appeal right now. Let me see it again. Xhaka, I was hoping, let's see. I mean, he hit his left hand. I don't think, to be honest, I wouldn't really give it as a penalty, the second one, but the first one, yes. The second one, I don't know. I'll hear what they have to say later on, but personally, I wouldn't have given it, but it would have been great if he got it. Saka looked tired second half. He did everything he could. I think he had a good game, but he did everything he could, so he got tired. That is why we need someone to help them out. And basically all our second-team players are hurt. Smith Rowe, even Nelson, and a couple of first-team players in Jesus, so there's that. Today, but some game need Gabriel Jesus think Arsenal need to sign players in this transfer. I don't think we definitely need to sign players. I'm satisfied it was a tough match, says Davis. I agree. I'm not satisfied, but let's see how Man City do first. It's not the end of the world. Newcastle have only lost 1 game. It would have been great if we won. It would have built our confidence even more. Like if we beat Newcastle today, I would have felt like we can beat literally anyone in this league. We've been dropped 2 penalties, so most of you believe we should have had 2 penalties. Let's see. Mudryk and Felix, says Marlon. Why Martinelli never got the ball was out of the game. Trippier was very good. I can see why the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold cannot play in England. Like this one and James, they play really well. Disappointed over the VAR decision, says Patrick. We need creative players, says Thomas. Unfair officiating. However, well done, boys. Though we dropped 2 points, we are lacking bench material. So the other positive is that we've gone 8 points clear. We could have gone 10, but 8 points clear is also not bad. Remember, if Chelsea beat Man City, 8 points is quite good. Man United have started playing well, but they had Nottingham Forest, Wolves, and Bournemouth. So let's see how they do in the rest of the games. So all the players we got on the bench are not good, says Lee. Let me show you the bench again. Let's see. Some of them are very good, but the problem is they're defenders. Tierney and Tomiyasu are good, but they're defenders. They're not going to come and score a goal. That would help us if we had a one goal lead and we were trying to get in defenders. Tierney and Tomiyasu would help. Holding is another defender. He won't really be here next season. If you are going to go to the next level, you don't really want Holding to be here next season. El Neni, it's getting to that time where El Neni will be leaving. He'll not really come and help you score. Lokonga, I don't know, but he will not really come and help you score. Fabio Vieira maybe in Marquinhos, but I don't think he trusts Marquinhos yet. And Fabio Vieira, I'm thinking the reason why I didn't bring him on is because this was a very feisty game. Hard tackles, foul after foul. I'm not sure if Fabio Vieira is used to that kind of game. So yeah, the bench in terms of impact, we don't have enough players. Like I would say, like you need like 4. Luckily, like Smith Rowe are coming back. They will be on the bench, but in terms of signings, you need at least 2 from midfield going forward. I think our defense can survive. I think our defense is okay. We don't really have to buy anyone defensively, but midfield and also forward, Partey, or if Partey gets injured, we need someone there. So a Partey backup, or maybe even someone to come and give Partey competition, and also a forward player. Like I would rather, as I said last time, I would rather not even sign anyone in July, August, and sign those players right now. Like if we were very serious, get 3 players, get a striker, get a wing, and get a midfielder, and then we will be very happy and ready to go. I'm not sure how possible it is to get 3-4 players in January. It's usually very hard, like the January transfer windows. We've gotten the likes of Carl Strom and Denis Suarez, some horrible players in the January transfer window. So they're showing on screen right now. Next up, we have Tottenham, Man U, Everton, Brentford. Everton is a good fixture for us. Brentford as well. Brentford are very good, but still confident with this one. But let's see Tottenham and Man United next. Man United and Tottenham will not defend as much as Newcastle have done today. I don't think they have as good defenders as Newcastle have. So I wouldn't be really too worried about scoring goals. Sign that Ukrainian Saka needs help, says Sims. Mudryk is unlikely. No, Mudryk is going to join Arsenal. That is the most likely, actually. You can make the same mistakes as last season. Newcastle was tough. Let's see. We ran out of gas. That I agree with. Esiosa. But why did Vieira not give Arsenal the penalty? They didn't even check. That is your answer, Arsenal. We don't have strong players on the bench, so yeah, a lot of agreed points on that one. That's the main thing. We don't have players on the bench. We lost 2 points, says Olayton. Let's see what you guys are saying on YouTube in terms of voting. So I asked, how do you feel about today's game? Is it very disappointing? Also, if you're just joining on Facebook, let me know. Is it very disappointing, or is it not the end of the world, or are you very happy with the draw? Emma says we played well, but our bench can't change the game. Although our luck wasn't on our side, we shall come back stronger. Today, Saka did everything. It wasn't enough. Martinelli was marked out of the game, and Odegaard wasn't having his best game, and Ketia wasn't having his best game. Jacques as well. That is why, and all 5 of them not having the best of games, then you're not going to score. That is why you need people to come from the bench, and we didn't really have anyone to come from the bench today at all. Not even one. We only brought in Tomiyasu, a defender, so that is a worry. That referee is something else. He totally lost control of the game. So far, 50% have said disappointing result. 37% have said not the end of the world, and 10% have said I'm happy with the draw. So no one really is happy with the draw, and most people feel like it's still a disappointing result. I still believe that Arsenal will win the EPL, says David. I mean, you can't win every single game. Obviously, you will drop points here and there, but also you need the luck. You need Man City to also drop points. Let's see. Arsenal, good luck for the rest of the season, says Davis. Very good game. I can see you're a Newcastle fan. Very good game. Newcastle, I have a very good team there. Very good team. And that is a team that didn't even really have Saint Maximin. He was coming from the bench. Players like Target, who are signed, they're not even playing these days. We need game changers, says Angeline. Yes. First team, good, as Angeline says, but the bench, we don't have enough players. We deserve the penalty, says RK. We need to sign players as soon as possible. Yeah, you can see where we are going. This January transfer window is going to be very, very important. Thomas says poor officiating. So let's go through the stats and then I'll do the player ratings. So in terms of shots, I said we had 17 shots. Another game where we've had a lot of shots, but only 4 on target. Newcastle only had 1 on target. So how do you look at it? They were just defending to get the draw. Did we defend well? They had 8 shots, 7 of them off target, 5 corner kicks apiece, 4 yellow cards for us, 5 yellow cards for them. It was a feisty game. We actually didn't have any big chance at all today. We did not create any big chance at all. So there was no one who got a chance they should have scored. So we didn't create any big chances at all today. So that is concern. And that is just because of that. When our players don't play well, we don't have anyone from the bench. Imagine, Man City, when Man City start with Haaland and Foden and Mahrez and Grealish, and then on the bench, they can bring in Gundogan and they can bring in Alvarez and all those players to change the game. We completed 536 passes. That was double the number of passes Newcastle got. They won more duels than us. They won more aerial duels. They made more tackles. They made more clearances. So they are winning almost every single ball, and they kept us quiet. So fair play to them. We didn't really have an answer for today. Let's see. Angelo says, why is everyone acting like we lost? Angelo is wondering why people are not people are too very dissatisfied with the draw. It's not the end of the world. We need a good bench, period, says Nee. How much should we pay for Modric? I'd look at 70 million maximum. 70 million is a lot. I think it would be like 60 million. I think there's part with add-ons. I think it could be like 50 million euros and add-ons on top of that. I think that is like 44 million pounds or something plus add-ons. Get him in right away. He wants to join Arsenal. Get him in. Creativity-wise, I've seen him playing in the Champions League this season for Shakhtar. Very good. He played against Real Madrid this season. There's one game he stood out at home. I think he scored and assisted. I don't remember the team. I don't know. It was like a German team, maybe. He did very well in one of the games in the group stage at home for Shakhtar. So he can definitely help us. That penalty wasn't given. I wasn't happy with the referee, including the VAR. Look, I'm happy, more happy if we won. We can't win every game. I agree with that. We're not invincible yet like Wenger's team. Even Wenger's team didn't win every game. They drew 12 times. So there's that as well. Right about Everton, if they get a new manager bounce. Everton, if they get a new manager before playing us, nah. Even if they get 3 new managers, if we didn't beat Everton, that would be a disaster. We have to beat Everton. Like, have you seen them today? Terrible. We at home. We needed to win. I appreciate the mentality, Matthew. I definitely appreciate that mentality. That shows we've changed our ways. We want to win every single game. So let's do the player ratings. Let's see how these players did today out of 10. Are you happy with how the players performed, or are you disappointed? I don't think it's going to be very high, apart maybe from the defenders. Let's see. Player ratings. Ramsdale kept another clean sheet. Newcastle only had 1 shot, to be honest, but they had 5 corner kicks. I think Ramsdale collected, let me see. Ramsdale had 1 save. He only had 1 run out, 27 touches. No punches at all. High claims, none at all. And he also made a crazy mistake in the second half. I do not know what he was doing. He tried to give away the goal to them, but I'm going to give him a 7 for today. Thank you for the super chat, Arke. I'll come to your comment. Keep up the good work, Glenn. I appreciate it. Ramsdale 7. Only 1 save, and he almost gave away a goal today, so 7 for him. The rest of the defenders, I think they did well. So Zinchenko did very well against Almiron. Almiron is one of the most improved players this season. So I'm going to give Zinchenko an 8 for today. He also, a couple of times, nicked the ball in midfield and tried to put us on the attack. They've given him a 7 on SofaScore. He picked up a yellow card as well. He made 3 clearances. He was dribbled past twice. Okay, 180 touches, on 92% in terms of accurate passes. But I'm not really rating according to how other people are rating. I'm rating according to how I watched the game. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I felt like he did well. There's a couple of times he won the ball in midfield and tried to push us forward. So I think he dealt well with Almiron. Almiron is crazy good this season, and also Trippier on that same wing. I think Zinchenko did well. I don't think it's like a 6 the way they're giving him on SofaScore. I think 6 is a bit too low for Zinchenko. And we also kept a clean sheet. Yellow card wise, he also picked up a yellow card, and you could see the last 5 minutes when you got a throw in, you could see how Zinchenko is trying to get the fans like inspired. Let's try and get a goal. I love that attitude from him. So I'm going to give him an 8 for today. Ben White. Ben White played 70 minutes today. As you know already, he's one of my favorite players. I think defensively we kept them quiet, so I'm going to give him an 8, unless I'm crazy, but I think he did well as well today. Let's see stats. 1 clearance, 1 interception, 5 tackles. That is good. Again, another game without a yellow card for Benjamin White. When everyone else is getting yellow cards, Ben White never gets them. He also did not commit any foul at all. That is very good. Ground deals, he won 6 out of the 7 ground deals that he had. 81% in terms of passes as well. I'm going to give him an 8. I absolutely love him. Like, I still cannot believe some of you said that he had a bad season last season and 50 million is too much for Ben White. No, this guy is so good. He's not a right back, that is not even his position. And he's every single game, like literally the last 2 weeks, Ramsdale has made a couple of silly mistakes. Saliba's made a mistake. Gabriel has made a mistake. White has not made a mistake. So 8 out of 10 for him. Gabriel, I think they dealt very well against both Wood and especially Wilson. Wilson is very pacey. We actually frustrated him. He made him get a yellow card as well. So Gabriel gets an 8 for today out of 10. I think aerially, he actually almost had our best chance, but he just went off target. He could have had a goal as well. 3 clearances, 2 tackles, 1 interception. He won 4 out of his 5 ground duels, 2 out of his 5 aerial duels as well. He did not also commit any fouls at all. He only lost possession 6 times and 94% in terms of accurate passes. So 8 for Gabriel. I have no problem with him today. He didn't really make any silly mistakes. So 8 for him. Although I just remembered saying that. It just came to my head. I just remembered. I just wrote down Zinchenko. Let me see. 35th minute, Zinchenko gave away the ball and he almost gave them a chance. I just remember that was the only mistake he made today, Zinchenko. So I've given him an 8, but from that era, he gave away the ball. So maybe a 7, but I just remembered. So for the rest of the game, though, he did well. Maybe giving away the ball once is not too crazy. You can give the ball once in a game, no problem at all. But maybe you can drop it down to a 7. So Gabriel 8. Defensively, you can see where I'm going. I think they all did well defensively. I think Ben White did better than all of them, but all of them will get an 8. So I'm going to give Saliba an 8 as well. Definitely better than last time against Brighton. Looked very shaky against Brighton. Today, no problem with Saliba. He looked like the old Saliba. He made 4 clearances. He had a blocked shot as well. He won 3 out of his 4 ground duels, 3 out of his 6 aerial duels. He only lost possession 6 times. He committed only 1 foul, 90% in terms of accurate passes. So 8 for Saliba today. No problem at all. Defensively, 7 Ramsdale. I've given Zinchenko an 8, but it's an 8 going down to a 7.5 and not really an 8.5. White, I've given him an 8. Gabriel, I've given him an 8. And Saliba an 8. That is why you're going to get high ratings. For the rest of the players, I'm not going to be very nice to them. Let's start with Xhaka. I'm going to give Xhaka a 6 today. Slightly disappointed with him today. Silly yellow card, I'd say also, when Xhaka gets a yellow card, I was sweating. I was like, not today, Xhaka. We've done very well. We've not picked up any red cards. I was praying that he doesn't get a red card today because this is the kind of game. If you get a red card, you're in big trouble. So I'm going to give Xhaka a 6 for today. Also going forward, a couple of times he frustrated me. Yes, like the last minute, he was looking like he was the one who was going to help us score, but decision making today was a bit off. Sometimes I thought he should have shot. He decided to pass. Went a bit too long. Also midfield wise, I think it was kind of 50-50. I think Bruno Guimaraes and the likes of Willock actually battled well against both Xhaka and Partey. So let me see his stats. He had 72 touches, 82% in terms of accurate passes, and he had one shot blocked. And tackles, only 1 tackle and 1 clearance in midfield. Not the best game for Xhaka. My expectation for him is this high. Like, I'm expecting a lot more from him. So Xhaka 6. Like, if I was the manager and I had a very good player on the bench, I would have taken him off. Actually, when it got to the 80th minute, I was actually asking for Fabio Vieira to come on for him. Let's get another attacking midfielder on, and let's see what we can do. And also because he was on a yellow card. So 6 for Xhaka. Partey. Partey. What are we going to give Partey? Did he really make any mistakes today? I didn't really write down any mistake that Partey did. So I'm going to give him a 7 for today, Partey. Partey, I'm going to give him a 7. I think he was slightly better than Xhaka. Let's see. SofaScore have given them like almost the same score. He had one key pass today. There's a pass he made. I think it was him in the first half where Xhaka left the ball, ran, and it went to Martinelli, and we almost scored from that. I think it was Partey who gave a very unbelievable pass. Like, what a player, man. If Partey's on form, you can't really lose a game. He had 2 shots blocked. There's a couple of times it looked like he was going to be the one to score. But in terms of defensive work, very good. 3 clearances, 1 blocked shot, 1 interception, 3 tackles. That's a very good stat line for defensive midfield, I think. So I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give Partey a 7 for today. Again, Odegaard, 6. Last time I gave him a 10 against Brighton. But yes, there's no favorism at all from on this channel. There's no favorism at all. If you play badly, I'm going to say you played badly. If you play well, I'm going to say you played very well. I gave him a 10 last time. Today, he didn't play badly, but decision making and also the shots off target. He should have done better with the shots. I think he had like 3 shots that went outside the stadium. That was terrible. And also a couple of times he should have shot. He decided to pass. Maybe even some of you would give him lower, but I think 6, just around average performance from him. He was not the worst player on the pitch, but 6 I think is fine. Now, if he also picked up a yellow card, there's that as well. Let me see his stat line. He actually had 3 key passes still, so there's still a part of him where he can still create a few chances even if he's having a bad day. He completed all of his crosses, 2 out of 2, 4 out of 8 ground duels, 2 tackles as well. The one thing I loved about Odegaard today is he was getting involved he's not scared. Ozil, in such a game where people are fouling each other and players are tackling and fighting all over the place, Ozil would be quiet. But Odegaard, he was very involved. Like Newcastle, we don't get bullied these days. That is one thing I love about Arsenal these days. When we had Wilshere and Ramsey and Walcott and Chamberlain and Vermaelen and those guys, Chesney, we used to get bullied a lot. Like against Newcastle and Burnley, we would get bullied. We can't fight. We are soft. We don't waste time. We don't get yellow cards. We were very soft those days. These days, we are not soft. And I could see it from Odegaard today. Very feisty. Like if it is a tackle, he's going to make that tackle. He's going to fight against you. He was not afraid to put in a challenge. So that's the one thing I loved about Odegaard. Then he also picked up a yellow card. The referee was not having it. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 for today. Next up is the forward player. So that is the midfield. Partey 7, Xhaka 6 out of 10, Odegaard 6 out of 10. Bukayo Saka, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. He did very well, especially in the first half. Even I think like 7 is a bit low, or maybe you think 7 is fair enough. There's like, if you watch the game, there's like 2 or 3 times Saka picked up the ball in our own box and he ran like past 4 or 5 players. Unbelievable. Like when he has the ball, he's so good, man. Like give him a contract right now. Like if something was going to happen, it was going to be Saka. Like the way he just runs past 4 or 5 players. In the first half, he did that to Ban on that left side, our right side. He dribbled past Ban and left him behind. And then late in the first half, there's a time he ran past like 4 or 5 players and created kind of an opportunity for us. In the second half, he did the same thing. But in the second half, he got tired, and that is where the problems come. We don't have anyone to bring in for him. I think apart from that, apart maybe for a couple of shots off target, I think he was our only kind of hope for today in terms of scoring. He was doing very well. As you can see on screen, that was the first time he ran past Dan Van. And I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 for today. I think he was okay, but didn't really get a goal or assist. But he had 3 key passes. I don't think it was his fault. I think he did well. 2 out of 8 ground duels, 1 clearance, and at least he didn't pick up a yellow card as well, because if he picks up a yellow card, he's going to get suspended for the next game. 7 for Saka. I'm not going to say the same thing about the guy on the other side. I don't think it's because Martinelli was bad today. I just think Trippier was very good. And Martinelli got a very tough right back today, and he was kept very quiet. He got past him maybe twice, but apart from that, he was totally marked out of the game. And you can see that is why you need someone like Mudryk. If Martinelli is not having the best of games, you bring in Mudryk and you're good to go. But for today, I'm going to give Martinelli a 6. Maybe some of you would even give him a 5. He was totally out of the game for most of it, because Trippier had the game of his life once again. And they're keeping a bunch of clean sheets, Newcastle. I can see why. One shot on target from Gabriel Martinelli, that was from outside the box. 3 key passes. He attempted 5 dribbles today, and he completed 0. That means like every time he tried to pass Trippier won the ball. So I've even said he passed him once. I think the time Martinelli got a chance, Trippier was not there. I don't think he passed him at all today. 5 dribble attempts, 0 completed. I think Trippier got all 5 of them. So that's very good defending from Trippier. And it's slightly worrying that if you keep Martinelli and Saka quiet, we're in a bit of trouble. But yes, we're in the January transfer window. We need to get players. But Martinelli 6 for today. And I'm going to give Nketiah the same as well. 6 out of 10. A couple of times he looked a bit flashy, a bit good, like he could get something, get an opportunity and all that. But again, a lot of fouls today, too much into the referee today, into the referee's face, and a bit quiet as well, just like Martinelli and the likes of Odegaard. Not the best of games today. I don't think he got too many opportunities to score. Let me just see his stats. We didn't really create a lot. We didn't create any big chances today. And he also, let's see. Did he even have a shot on? He had 2 shots on target, 35 touches, 73% accurate passes, 4 out of 7 ground duels. Someone made a point about him not pressing early on. There's that. So Nketiah is a striker who's going to wait for the ball in the box and get the rebounds and all that. He's not really going to press as much as Jesus. You probably would have gotten something more from Jesus, but it's not just Nketiah who was quiet today. Martinelli as well, Odegaard and Xhaka, all of them did not have the best of games, so I'm going to be fair there. Let me recap that. Ramsdale 7, Zinchenko 8, Ben White 8, Gabriel 8, Saliba 8, Partey 7, Xhaka 6, Odegaard 6, Martinelli 7, Saka 7, Martinelli 6, Nketiah 6. Let me know who was your man of the match today. Who impressed you a bit more? I'm pretty sure it's one of the defenders or Saka who impressed you most. Sorry. Tomiyasu wasn't on for too long, so I'm just going to give him 6, maybe a 5. I'm just going to give him a 6. That was the only sub we made today, right? Crazy. Arteta is going to be a tough one today. What are we going to give Arteta for today? I mean, positives. We kept a clean sheet. We are 8 points clear in the table. I don't know, who do you blame for not having players on the bench? I'm not going to really blame anyone. Let's see how they do after the January transfer window. I maybe would have brought in Fabio Vieira instead of Xhaka, because Xhaka was kind of getting on the edge of getting a red card, and he also was having a poor game, or maybe even Fabio Vieira for Odegaard. So at least bring on one sub, Fabio Vieira. Maybe he has his reasons not to bring him on. As I said, maybe because the game was a bit too tough and tackling and all that. But today, I mean, it's Newcastle. They're 3rd on the table. It's not like we've drawn with Nottingham Forest or anything. So I'm not going to give him as high as I usually give him, 8 or 9s or anything like that. So I'm going to give him just like we did with the other players. So I'm going to give him 6 out of 10 for today. We kept a clean sheet. That is why I've given him a 6. But in terms of chances up front, he didn't really create a lot of chances. And also I was hoping Fabio Vieira would come on, but nothing much to say about that. And that is the first time we've dropped points at home this season. We've literally won every single game at home. Every single competition. We've won every single game at home, apart from Brighton in the Carabao Cup. Who cares about the Carabao Cup anyway? We've done very well. So this is the first time. We can't expect to win every single game. It would have been nice to win the game, of course, but it's not the end of the world that we didn't win the game. And the one thing I'll also say about Arteta, I really like the way he gets involved in the game, to be honest. Like, he was not sitting down. Like, he was arguing with the referee, trying to sort out things on the pitch. That I love about him. But for today, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. My man of the match is probably going to go to Saka or Or Ben White or Gabriel, one of them. I'll probably give them. Let me see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Cookie says Zinchenko 8, White 8, Ramsdale 6. That all Aram almost made it 1-0. I don't know why they didn't shoot the ball. Gabriel 8 even got forward a bit. That is true. He actually almost scored. Thank you for all the ratings, Cookie. Party 7 controlled the game more than Xhaka, probably better than Xhaka today. No real mistakes and better attacking than Xhaka for once, in my opinion. Saliba 7, we've given me, I'm just blaming the referee for being a Newcastle fan, says Vincent. Odegaard 5, but not too good. Shooting off target, could have looked for options rather than just shooting on and hopping. Yeah, he had an off day today for sure. We have penalty. We should have had a penalty kick, says Jackson. Ismail says in a tough game, Vieira cannot do anything. Jacques and Zinchenko are swapping their place because Jacques also covers for our 3, so all really played well. They just need to improve in the upcoming matches. We need a couple of players on the bench, Ismail, but I actually agree with your analysis of that. Maybe Fabio Vieira wasn't his game, but I would have just have tried it though. The last 10 minutes, just bring him on for Xhaka because he was on the yellow card and let's see how, what happens. Man of the match, Saka 100%, says Cookie. Nice seeing you, Cookie, by the way. I've not seen you for a while. Happy New Year to all of you, by the way. Not the greatest start to the year. Thank you for the super chat, RK. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it. No, Alex, forget about those thoughts. It's going to be painful if Chelsea can snatch away Modric now. I'm not worried about that because Modric wants to join Arsenal. He's talked about Arsenal for too long. He's posted so much about Arsenal on his Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not to join Arsenal. This is a clear sign that we lack depth now. They must just go and pay the required amount needed for Modric. I'd actually even tried Tielemans, but let's see. Maybe they're planning to sign him at the end of the season. Let's see. There's a reason we don't get UCL last season because you had a couple of injuries, and also because we didn't sign any players in January. So hopefully we don't do that this time. Xhaka and Martinelli's side was just dead. He could have brought in Vieira and take out Xhaka. I agree with that. I would have done exactly that, especially in the last 10 minutes. It was very quiet, and I think Trippier did very well on that side to just mark them out of the game. Let's see. I'm happy. We should have won, but we can't win every game, says Angelos. I appreciate all the comments. I really appreciate it. So there's no Premier League game for us until next time. So let me know. We've drawn 0-0 today. Are you still very confident that you can go to Tottenham and win, or are you worried that we didn't score a goal today and we looked very quiet? Personally, I'm not. I don't think Tottenham and Man United have a good defense as the one Newcastle have, and they'll be a bit more open as well, the likes of Man United. So I'm not really worried. Today was a tough game. Today was a very tough game. And also, as you people have said a couple of times, should have had a penalty, especially this one. I think you should have had a penalty for this one. At least check it. If they went and checked it and said it's not a penalty, that is fine. But they didn't give it, and we have to just move on to the next game. FA Cup game this weekend, and then next week, it just gets big. Tottenham away from home. The best way to bounce back from a game like this, if you go to Tottenham and win, I'm very quickly going to forget about Tottenham, especially if Man City don't win against Chelsea. If Man City, let's say, draw with Chelsea on Thursday, I'm not very sure though. That Chelsea defense, man, I think Haaland will score a hat trick. To be honest, hopefully they can score 3 of their goals as well. If they draw that game, that means we are still 7 points ahead. And then next time, if you can beat Tottenham, you're still 10 points ahead. You can still get those 10 points ahead, but yeah, you can't win every single game. I still believe you're going to lose a couple. Hopefully, we can bounce back next game, though. I don't really want us to go 2-3 games without winning. One game is fine. Like we've won so many games in a row. Before the World Cup, we won like 3 or 4 games in a row, and after the World Cup, we've won 2 games in a row. So I'm going to say it's not the end of the world. Hopefully, Man City drop points this week, and fair play to Newcastle as well. I think we have to give them props as well. They did quite well today. Joseph says Tottenham certainly a tough game, but we are capable of winning. This is the most confident I've felt, even though you drew today. This is the most confident I've felt going to Tottenham. 2015 was the last time we won. Rosicki scored the goal. Do you know how long Rosicki has been retired for? Like so long. That was the last time he won at their place. So hopefully we are going to have a good results there. I agree with Cookie. They are not as good defensively as Newcastle. Tottenham are horrible defensively. Like 10 of their defenders are all bad, including Lloris and Emerson Royal and Dyer and Davis and all those guys, Sessignon, all of them are bad. They've even made Perisic look bad, a World Cup finalist, a World Cup semi-finalist. So one more thing, let's check how the table is looking. Let's see if it is the end of the world or how it's looking in terms of the table. Let me do this. Let me check the table. Let's see. I really chance today because I'm also playing fast. We had the chance of going 10 points clear. 10 points clear. That would have been just so crazy. So let me do this. So this is how the table is looking. Let me remove myself from the screen. Let's see. So Arsenal is on 44 points. Like, if you look at that as well, guys, like, yes, we dropped points against Newcastle, but look at that in general. Let's look at it overall. We are in January, 17 games played. We've won 14, drawn 2, and lost 1. That is not bad. If you look at it as a full picture, it's not bad. I know we expected to win every single day because we're top of the table, and usually Man City can win like 20 games in a row without having any problems. That is not bad. 17 games, we've only dropped points 3 times. That is the first time we've dropped points at home this season. First time we've dropped points at home for like 10 months, actually. So that's not bad. 2 draws. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm going to forget about the game quickly. We're going to look at, we know why we didn't win that game today. Players had an off day and we don't have anyone to bring to bring from the bench. Now, I would be angry and mad if January ended without Arsenal signing a player. That is when I'll not be happy. But for now, we drew the game. We've seen our problems, a chance to go and sign players in this window. Maybe even 2 forward players. I don't know how quickly Smith Rowe will come back. Probably next game. I don't know how long he will be fit, how ready he will be. Like, if Smith Rowe comes back and he plays like the Smith Rowe from the last 2 seasons, it will be like a new signing. Do you remember Smith Rowe, guys? Smith Rowe was our second top scorer last season. So if we can get this combination again, especially Smith Rowe coming from the bench, I'd be very happy. I hope he can recover very 100%. Like, if we get Mudryk and also a very fit Smith Rowe, I think would be good. Looking at that bench, you have Smith Rowe and Mudryk, that would be very good. So hopefully he comes back as a Smith Rowe that we know, the Smith Rowe who basically saved Arsenal alongside Saka back in 2019. This guy saved us. Arsenal was going, we were sinking very, very fast, and Saka and Smith Rowe saved us at the right time. So it's not the worst of the team. And also, let me look at the other teams. Newcastle are now, they're still 9 points behind us. Newcastle are crazy, man. They've conceded 11 goals. They've only lost 1 game just like us, but they can get top 4. Man United are now 9 points behind us. They've won 3 games in a row, but I'm not even going to look at them because they've played Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, and Wolves. I'm not going to say like the way people say about Arsenal, they've only beaten small teams. No, there's no small team in the Premier League, but they had favorable fixtures. So next up, Man United have Man City and then Arsenal. So if they won those 2, then I'd be worried about them starting to catch up. Tottenham, I'm not worried about at all, to be honest. 14 points behind. Liverpool, 16 points behind. I think that's fair enough. That's good enough as well. And Chelsea, my goodness. I can't even see Chelsea anywhere. Can you guys see Chelsea? Oh my goodness. Chelsea, 25. Chelsea are in 19 points behind us. If Chelsea finished ahead of us this season, you suck every player, honestly. If Chelsea catch up with us, that would be disaster of disasters. So I'm not really worried about Chelsea and the likes of Tottenham. Liverpool, maybe if they become the Liverpool that they were, but I don't think so. So I think this one will definitely finish in the top 4 for sure. We're not going to come out of the top 4. Hopefully, don't even come out of top of the table. But yes, if you look at the full picture, a draw is of the world. So hopefully that cheers you people up. Everyone who's going to school tomorrow and going to work tomorrow, it's not the end of the world. A 0-0 against Newcastle. Positives, negatives. Negatives, the biggest negative is the fact that we don't have any bench players to come on. Also, Odegaard and Xhaka had a bit of a quiet game today alongside Martinelli. Positives, we are still 8 points ahead, and we kept a clean sheet as well. Another negative is that we didn't score today, the first time we haven't scored the whole season, but it's not the end of the world. See you guys tomorrow for transfer updates. We now need to get serious in the transfer market. We've gotten ourselves into a very good position. Let's not mess it up. And mess is not even the word I want to use, but I'm not going to use strong language. Let's not mess it up. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.